Hello my friends, my name is Nine and it has certainly been a while. Today I introduce you to the Prophecy, a triobus meant to take an absolute beating featuring a compact pathing taking defense to a whole nother level. Now this base will cost you around 67,000 stone, 67,000 metal frags, and 265 high quality metal. And without further ado, let's get into a tour. Alrighty guys, now that you know a little bit more about the base, let's actually go on a tour. So on this base there's going to be 3 externals, each are going to be about 1,000 of each resource. I have these basic disconnectables set up where you just place one piece of twig and it disconnects. You disconnect this on all 3 sides and you'll be able to replace your main TC. I also do suggest you turn these bunkers, or not these bunkers, but these externals into bunkers rather, as it will give you some extra offline protection. But for now, we're going to reseal up this guy and go into our base. Now, when you enter this little airlock section, it is a little weirder than a lot of things that you may have seen recently. This into here is going to be our peak behind our furnace funnel and kind of down this line here. I know it's a little dark here, it's hard to manage, but you'll understand in a second. Now this is airlocked into what would be into our compound. Same peaks, same side. The reason this foundation is empty is it's actually unable to be placed due to this being honeycombed. This section up here is our wide gaps, and as you see now we're doing some funny stuff to really get some efficiency in here. You can also notice that these turrets hold this entire section and funnel from either or side. These things are extremely powerful, but you're also missing is that these turrets up top are hidden and showing down onto that furnace funnel. Now coming through here, we have a shotgun trap. This is half walled here to give us a shotgun trap looking down, being a funnel. Now you can remove this little single door section and give a more open field to your compound if you're deeper, but if you are like a solo duo type beat, I suggest you keep it closed for just that extra compound control, forcing raiders to spend the extra rockets for just a little more control. Oop. Okay, coming through here, we have our furnace funnel. You now can see that auto turret being perfectly in use. It fully watches beyond that funnel. We have another turret here that you'll be able to see, along with a bedroom. And this is where our batteries will go. There's 3 of them on the space. I know you can't really see it here, but there she is. 1 on each side of the base, so 3 batteries split it up between our 12 turrets. It's 4 turrets per battery. It's just gonna stop raiders and make it so they don't have a fun time. Now coming into this section, we are going to be met with these little furnace jump ups that offer some peaks. And obviously I'm using garage doors here, but if you want cheap on cost, a lot of the doors in space can be not even used and just removed. They're not needed, technically speaking. But this gives you a nice little peek onto your first funnel. It's a nice little head glitch where you can peek up, peek down. Really good if you're in heavy pot, it's all that's gonna be showing. And here we also have these shotgun traps that are then holding it like a mini funnel. Going up here, excuse the door being off, but this ladder hatch will lead to what is our shooting floor technically. This garage door leads to roof. We have these little peaks here. They're mainly meant for compound and furnace funnel. This also is a nice double way peak, so if they're standing close on either of those sides, it is a disgusting peak. Up here we have more of those peaks into compound, into different sides. Amazing head glitches for towards fob. This one's a nice pixel peak when you have the brutal skin onto the other side. And jumping to roof here, see how this continues. But first, let's go back down into starting unit. Alrighty, now on the proper side of the base, we can come up here into a single door airlock. 2 of the sides are rotation through this triangle up to shooting floor, and then 1 of the sides is in here into core. So open up all the doors now. I apologize for not having them opened. You have core peaks on every single one of these lit rooms, just 2 of them technically, but 5 box lit rooms on each. And then in here, this leads to our little team bedroom, and this leads down to starter. We're using a tier 2 as a jump up here. You get 2 bags in here. You can get a 3rd if you replace some things differently, and you get a lot of box space. I managed to fit technically 6 boxes in here. Here's main upkeep, 10k, 10k. So we're looking at a total upkeep of about 13k, 13k, 45 high qual day, which is really easily done for a solo, even a duo. You could do this as a solo duo. I will suggest the space for 3 to 4, even though the starter is super small, but you can do it as less. Now, coming upstairs, we have our tier 3 here. I didn't want to clog the starter unit too much because anyways, you're gonna be living in this floor the most. This entire thing is honeycombed on every side. It's absolutely beautiful. Coming up top, we have an auto turret watching. Now you have these lockers and these core peaks. It also has a nice hold right down to there. You put beds in here. I haven't placed them as it's just gonna mess with the mobility for now, but let's continue on. So going back to roof here, we have bedrooms above the jump ups with these single door peek downs. And yes, you are decently exposed, but using a window here doesn't really give you any advantages. Coming down here, we have these awesome auto turrets. I really like how these things are done. I'm gonna look away from the sun here. But these double doors hold what would be its other exposed angle here. And you have full angles from front, and I really like this. And I don't even double door this bottom section. I just leave it as like an exposed bedroom, and you lock that locker, and it's good. These are super covered from if someone was in a mini, and that's what I really like. Staying on top of this bed, you also get amazing angles onto the furnace funnel. These peaks as well are amazing. This blocks you from fob. Just a ton of great options, angles, and everything of the sort. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into a build video. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment in the comment section down below, or consider joining my Discord. The link is always in the description. Without further ado, guys, let's get into a build. Alrighty, guys, I know that some people like to see the footprint before we actually start, so here it is, and I'll do my best to explain it. This inner hex is going to be our starting unit, squares being those loot rooms. These triangles will be honeycomb, and also the jump ups into our team bedroom, and obviously our door path into core. Now these are little inner peak modules and shooting floor modules, along with our bedrooms and battery rooms for the compound. These will be the compound peaks on these squares, the gatehouses, and finally the externals. So one last look at that. And now what I will be doing per usual with every base build, I do use a little bit of symmetry, but I do stop a ton of times to make sure you guys have the easiest time. So starting off, let's start off with a simple hex core like this. Now, wall the entire thing in. You can start with 3 triangles or more, doesn't really matter, but let's leave this wall out for now. Now I'm gonna place my TC like this, where I'll still be able to get a furnace in here. And a single door eventually, but for now, we're gonna leave that off. Now make sure to double door this off. I'll add 2 double doors here just for the security of things, along with starting to add some boxes, deployables, and stuff like that. I'll try not to do too much deployable placement in this build, but it does help us a lot. So, if you do have barrels, I do suggest using them, but if you don't, large boxes will obviously work fine. Barrels are a little pay to win. Everyone can kind of admit that. Now this is how I do my starting unit. You can do it however you'd like. Personal preference. We'll just do this for now. This looks good. And then we obviously get 2 bags. A starter. Technically removing this door will make this placement easier. You'll understand in a second. I had it. There we go. It doesn't like me, but that's okay. So, as you can tell, super cramped starting unit, so we will obviously want to expand quickly. So, adding a wall here and a jump up. We're going to use a temporary furnace jump up for now, and we're going to add this second floor exit. What I'll do is move this double door up to that roof, so it's still 2 doors, technically an airlock, but obviously we want a real airlock on this thing. So let's continue building. So off this triangle, we're gonna add a square, and then triangle, square, so we're alternating here. Triangle, excuse me, square, another triangle. That's what we'll be looking like, and we'll start building. We'll go 2 high, making sure to add a shelf in here. Obviously don't upgrade this half wall. And these guys, sealing them in. It is also smart to add a half wall inside of these guys. That will make more sense later. And then capping that one off. And the reason we put the half wall in there for later is so we can have a little funnel wall inside that little inner peak section. Alrighty. Now we can also seal these guys in, like this. They're not fully sealed, obviously, but they'll be good for now. And we put a wall here, expand our double door path, a single door, and add our hex core on roof. Now what I'm going to do is make this into a wood piece here. This is eventually a core peak, but I don't want something peeking directly onto a jump up door while this top area above this is not sealed off. So leaving this just wood right now is absolutely perfect. But coming forward, I actually do want to do the same for this. Apologies. So for both those sides, if you want to make those into your core peaks right away, you can totally do it, but I suggest doing this. and this will become a roof jump up. Now, what I said would make sense earlier, that triangle can be placed like this. I do suggest making it twig just in case there are issues with stuff placing later. Or not twig, but wood. And then either use a box or something, but in reality, we're gonna be adding foundations in about 2 seconds. So excuse me real quick. Let me make sure I don't mess anything up for you guys. So triangle here, square, triangle. This foundation will now act as this jump up into here. And that is a correct triangle. And I'll show off how this will be on every side. As you see here, it's making of our inner peaks. So let's go inside and continue finishing the section off. I just want to show that off real quick. This is making for our roof jump up, or temp roof jump up, should I be more precise. And obviously a single door airlock into our starter. This is at the point where I will add in my shelving here, make this into a loot room, and move my double doors further. I lost it. There we go. It's in my inventory. Okay. Boom, boom. I'll still leave one maybe here, but for now, it doesn't really matter. At the earliest convenience that you have, let's add G doors throughout every slot. Nice, I blocked. There we go. And good. At this point, you are a pretty expensive raid. If you need to upgrade anything specifically, shipping container, along with the entire starter unit, and sheet metal. So, sorry, shipping container is sheet metal if you want console. Same difference. You will have to remove this box right here. I removed the shelf to get this back access. And apologies for all those things. Upgrade this piece and this piece to armored for a higher raid cost early game. So it technically needs to be upgraded. It'll make more sense later. Perfect. This is good for now. Awesome. I'm gonna continue through making these loot rooms. I'm gonna wait to place the boxes as I'm gonna wait until symmetry is on so I can do them all at once. It'll just save me time in the long run. And now we have a pretty good starter. Jumping outside, that is what it's going to look like. Let's continue making these foundations so I can turn on symmetry and start making the shell. So placing a square off that triangle and then 2 triangles on every side. We will eventually be left with this. Now these foundations are not connected and will decay, but that's perfectly fine for the time being. We're about to fix that in one simple move. So I'm going to turn on symmetry here. It is half symmetry, so it's 3 sides. So when I place honeycomb here, like this, it places on every side. And you see that now, pretty good. And I will turn off symmetry real quick just to make sure everything's good. I'm going to show you something real quick, toggle it off. Let's add the single door windows here on every side. Single door, I have 2 sets. Single door, window, and this can be ladder hatch. You don't have to do this right now, technically speaking, but why not? This is just me making sure we don't forget anything. All right, let me turn symmetry back on and continue with our shell. Now what we're going to do is place 2 more temporary triangles and a square. Removing those 2, we're good. Now I'm going to go around to our main side to show what it really looks like, because this is what you're going to decide that you're going to build first, as it's going to give you some more defenses. So let's build a window, 2 double door frames, half wall, window. Now we're going to build up. Don't want to mess any of this up. With 2 walls here, another wall here. Seal that off with a square. Try and give you lots of angles so I don't mess anything up. Half wall, window, half wall, window. This is now your inner peaks. You obviously have inner peaks now into this door pathing section. And this is obviously happening on all sides right now, so make sure you are doing this on all sides, but I do suggest you building up your main side first anyways. Window, 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 half wall, and temporarily add this flooring piece in to then add this wall, or this double door frame. That'll make more sense later, but we can seal that off. 2 half walls here, half wall, and we can begin sealing in this section. Now add a roof tile. If you do have a brutalist or skin or something of the sort where this conditional doesn't exist, I'll show this off here. Here we are on stone. Can't see this. It's a great grenade shoot where they can't see you. The Brutals gives you this really tight angle. That is awesome. Obviously a little pay to win. Don't even get me wrong, but can't beat him. You gotta join him, man. I hate to be that guy. Now I'll go around adding the embrasures in the proper way that I want you to add them. The way I show gives the best peaks, in my opinion at least. Not to be that way, but add 2 double doors here, followed by a ramp, furnaces so you can use these little peaks for the outside of your base. I'm getting an anti-hack here, and I like to add boxes, at least 1 box here. It'll make sense. The second one isn't technically needed, but to make this jump up easier to get inside. Alrighty, coming back to this top section, now we're going to put 1 wall here and seal off the entirety of this area, along with walls here, here. I'm gonna remove these for a reason you'll understand a bit. And we are good. Now we add double door frames here, and I'll turn off symmetry. This is your time to come and remove these wood pieces from below with a machete or 2, add a floor frame and a ramp, and now you have core peaks. Now early game, this area is actually extremely defendable. What you're gonna wanna do is add lockers and beds in this section. I'm only gonna throw a few of each just to be quick. We're gonna throw lockers on the ramps. This is some cool tech. I believe it does work on console too. I've been doing this on PC though for absolutely years at this point. It's been a long time, I've been doing that. But you're able to fit, as you can see, a lot of beds in here. 4 beds, I know they don't look pretty, but it's a hex core. You can't really fit them perfectly, but that's okay. Now I'll add a garage door here. And on these slots, I suggest using a garage door. However, early game, it is perfectly okay to add a double door that swings inwards like this, as you can jump, and have a roof peaks early game. You're not gonna be able to get up to roof without a garage door using the method that I've done here. However, roof peaks are very nice. This jump is a little annoying though. Just be aware, this little metal piece it makes can be very annoying. Be aware. But for my own sanity, I'm adding garage doors here because it doesn't have that metal piece. It's a very cool concept, and that is your roof jump ups. Now I will look at the base from an outside angle here to show you everything we've done. And if you could believe it right now, technically we're at like 2.5, almost 3 walls to core right now, the way we're doing stuff. We're being really funny with this base design. It's unsuspecting, I like it. So let's continue. So off of these guys, what we're gonna do is add 1 square and 1 raised triangle. If you cannot raise this triangle due to terrain, lower it and add half walls all around. It'll make more sense in a second. I want to be raised for the reason of adding a metal barricade on top once we have our walls placed. Half walls here, windows, and seal it off with this. And the reason we're doing a lowered turret here is it really, really well holds what will be our funnels through our furnace into our main entrances of the compound. It's really good, and I really do enjoy it. Now this is our battery locations, and at the earliest convenience as well, may I mention, please upgrade that at your earliest convenience to sheet metal, as you don't want to lose your batteries quick. And I will finish this entire section off like this. It's a good little hidden battery. People can miss this stuff. Along with placing our beds, which will be a little annoying to place. I like to jump place my first one, but it probably is easier just standing on top of here and placing them like that. I will be completely honest. Alrighty. That's our little compound section that we've made. And now it is time for our externals. It's a little bit of a weird build out, so I'm gonna go in twig here. We're gonna make a square, triangle, square, triangle. If it makes sense to you, it's a bow tie like this. And now we're going to build 1, 2, 3 squares, 1 triangle, and break our build out. Everything, doesn't really matter. Come back with triangles, square, triangles. Now you know you've done it right when this triangle doesn't work. And placing these foundations, you have a gap like this. I'll show it from the top. What you're looking for is it looks like a square triangle gap. So like, I'll show it off. Here is a square. Triangles are like this, here, and then here. That is perfect. And yes, it does look weird, so I do apologize. We'll break this entire section going out. And now I'm gonna quickly make my gatehouse, so I'm gonna switch to, we'll do a set of brutals. We'll make it like this for our temporary early game to not be too complex. I'll switch back to twig. And we'll make our external. Now, I do suggest you do bunkered externals to add more raid cost to the space. However, doing basic externals like this, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, if you want the extra overnight raid cost, I really do hope and suggest you do it. Now be aware, you're actually gonna have to turn the TC. I can't place the TC here. I'm really doing tight privilege on the space to really overlap. So you literally just rotate the TC and you'll be able to place it right there. Super weird, but also really, really nice. Now make sure this connection doesn't actually need to be metal, but I do suggest you metal this at some point, one or another, and I'll show it to metal a little later in the base. But for now, this works perfect. Now garage door this if you have the extra gears, but if not, that's okay. Now I'll come in here and sheet metal these foundations that matter, and continue building. Place a half wall here, a low wall here, and a window here. This is to create the peaks that we want, also a lowered ramp, but those are just for boxes. Continue by adding this floor and this frame, and then mirror the same thing on the other side. All I'm doing is effectively prepping where these peaks are gonna go, but I wanna make it so I have the lineup for compounds so I don't not have the ability, or I do not have the I don't not have the ability to place these building triangles or building blocks. So now we're gonna do 2 half walls here, and we'll place our compound walls. Now what you're gonna wanna do is look at your top right of the screen. I want you to look right here and watch how I'm placing it on that point. I'm now looking to my left and looking for a proper gap that looks like one wall from this point to this point. And I'm gonna look for what looks to be like the proper amount. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then we did pretty darn good. 2 walls per section. And the reason we're pre-placing this double door frame is so we can place this gate. Now the same thing over here. That looks good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like you see, it worked pretty well nonetheless. Now let's come in here and add these triangles early just so we don't forget, and then we can add these squares along with our metal barricades on the outside. And the reason we did this raised foundation is because I didn't want to waste the half walls to then be able to put this guy right here. Perfect. The base is coming along really well now, so let's continue. I'm going to quick finish off these gatehouse components. I like it to be an airlock, so I do a single door here, but I will admit it is a little obnoxious. So I have nothing wrong with you switching it off and literally just doing something like I'm going to show here. Garage door here for the raid cost, and a double door just for quick mobility. Perfect. Now you see here we have a very open compound right now because I don't have these funnel modules in. All these are 2 single doors like this. I'm gonna do it on both sides. And then we're doing half walls towards this section. So from our gatehouse, call it, we do a half wall. We can put a triangle here, half wall, and then seal that in. Those are perfect. Now what we're gonna do is add shotgun traps. The best way that I've found to do them is placing them from here. This is gonna give you the highest chance of someone walking in just instantly dying. It's obviously shootable from the outside, but what shotgun trap isn't, I feel like if you place them this way, they're not gonna kill you as fast compared to this. That's my personal preference. Also, I should really quickly place your compound turrets. You wanna place this guy as far back as possible, and then place 2 double door frames like this. That will make more sense later, but you'll get it, don't worry. And then I like to place these guys, and also I did not place my large furnaces. Stand at either side here, and kind of keep walking around. There we go. Raise it as high as possible and push it back into the right as possible. Perfect. Yet again, perfect. Can't walk through this gap. It's fully blocked here. This is exactly what we're looking for. I also see that my deployables didn't place. It's a sanctuary bug. That's why sanctuaries. They need to fix some stuff, but it's been a while, so I'll give them credit. Alrighty, continuing, we want to start building our shooting floor. So to do so, off these gatehouse modules, we're going to build double door frames, 3 high, on both these spots. And then off this spot, we are going to build 1 high, followed by a square, 3 windows. We want to add this half wall here on either side, followed by these gaps, and then roof triangles on, it's gonna be hard to place. So I'm standing qualt here, and you're gonna look straight down. Apologies for not placing that in-game quality and flying a little bit there. Now to place these, I suggest you literally come underneath and you can place them through. And then we'll place this. Apologies for the square being placed like this. That's what that module will look like. It's perfect. What we'll now do is I like to add my double door. This double door technically isn't needed, but I really do like it. And then I'll stand on top where this double door is and place this turret about in the middle. It is perfect. Along with adding the proper embrasures. And on top of this guy, we're gonna add a square. Like this. We use single doors on this one. And the reason we do single doors is it'll just give better peaks. In my opinion, it's super weird, but I really do like it. So continue here. This section looks good. I need to now come over here, add 1 frame, 2 frames high, add a floor frame, and a roof triangle. This is covering your fob angle from this peak here. It's such a tight peak, but so useful, you gotta use it. 2 high, another triangle floor frame, another roof triangle. That is looking perfect. Now what we do is we add another triangle floor frame, a half wall, and we seal this in like this. Do a lot of weird stuff, but I feel like a lot of it's really good, so I'm really liking this. So now that peak is perfect, and I can now just add these roof triangles here and here, obviously on all sides. And now I would suggest, if you haven't already, upgrade your entire roof, this tile specifically, and this module very specifically. Now my goal here is to show you all the deployable placements, as the bulk majority of everything for this base is done. And I know that's hard to say because that was really quick. So let's start going through the stuff that matters. One thing I did forget to put in my inventory is a windmill. Now on the highest point of the base, which I suggest either being right above these turrets or probably just these guys, you can throw a windmill. I like doing 3 windmills, and the reason is 1 windmill goes to 1 battery, to then 4 turrets, and I usually like to do override turrets. So I'd add 2 more turrets on top of that. I like to do it this way, but if you do not like these windmill locations, I might suggest raising them up 1 here, 1 higher, but I do kind of like, I think it looks better with them here. I know that's very nitpicky, but you know what it is. It's okay. So let's continue with our deployable placements for roof. I want to do embrasures like this, a locker, and a bed. Now, just lock this locker. I don't like to do a double door here because it blocks this turret angle above me, and you have these angles created. You can also add this triangle on the interior to make it a tighter peak, which is also nice. Very nice. Onto our furnace funnel. Now let's grab another double door. This space has a ton of bedrooms. I really do love this. These peaks are all good. Make sure to sheet metal these guys. Along with this honeycomb is very important. We'll go inside and upgrade stuff soon, but this stuff is the most important, and this full wall also extraordinarily important. Along with your foundations of all the things you feel matter. I fell through the world. Now switching these double doors out for garage doors is entirely up to you, but if you have the extra gears, why not do it? So in this case, I will do it. Boom, boom, boom. Making sure this triangle is placed. Now obviously Sanctuary yet again is bugging and not placing my deployables, but we'll be able to jump up to there. where I'll toggle symmetry off for a second. We add our single doors already there, but rather adding our ladder hatch here on either side. Boom. And that is our quick rotation to this point. Okay, let me fly back down. Now compound needs one more embrasure, which is here on either side. I'll show you that angle, for example, how nice these turrets are. They do fully watch the back of this compound. They're just awesome. And obviously like here, it holds even people jitter peeking from that. That's gonna block an extra rocket or two. And I really do like that. I'm not gonna replace this here, but that's okay. Now coming inside here, we'll retoggle symmetry. I want to sheet metal. Effectively, everything you can see in this section gets sheet metal. Done like this. This triangle doesn't matter, but everything other than that, give me a break. Okay, coming up now, also upgrade this triangle, it's important. We'll come in here and start on renovations. Remove these double doors as obviously you're much past that point. And we're gonna upgrade everything to sheet metal except this guy to armored, this guy to armored, and come in here. Now, if you still haven't placed these boxes yet, come inside and add these, or not add these, but upgrade these walls to sheet metal. And high quality this entirety of this roofing tiles, as now it's time. You can also upgrade these tiles from the outside here, in case you can't reach them from the inside. Now we'll run down side into core, upgrade this wall, this foundation, and this foundation. I'll personally be redoing my entire core for you guys real quick, as I want to show you how I get the most storage of this. I will also personally window this loot room this time. Sheet metal, and then high quality this last wall. We'll come into here with a barrel. The barrel is a very overpowered item in Rust currently. I say overpowered, it is really just that good. I know it sounds wild, a barrel being, you know, the best item in my opinion in the game right now, but it's so efficient when it comes to loot storage. If you don't have it, if you were to buy one skin in this game, hands down, by far, it is just the barrel. It's silly how useful it is. We have TC access. And now, I am a little old school. I do just have furnaces, not electric furnaces, kind of being shown here. And I do use a funny tier 2 jump up, which I find very funny. If this does annoy you, please just switch these furnaces around. I just like how this looks, and it's kind of unique. And I think I did actually, yeah. This furnace would need to be removed for that bag. The rest of the team gets their bags out here. Now this wall gets sheet metal, this door gets sheet metal, and you have an armored door, it goes here. You can't upgrade doors anymore on this server. That's funky. Okay, but that's okay. Let's toggle back on symmetry and place the boxes for our little mini open cores. Place these two close to you. These two as far back into one side as possible. And again, I do want to know if this works. If you have a barrel, I suggest using a barrel in this middle slot, as it's not as wide as a box. As you see here, it's actually easier to place. That's broken. I love it. Adding double doors throughout. I love the simplicity of symmetry. It just makes everything so easy. All right, that is all perfect. One last upgrade, very specific. This wall to HQM. Makes no sense, trust me. Okay, that is it for this section. Let's continue with over here. Now I'll need a tier 3 workbench. We'll throw here, upgrade this to shipping container. These walls, shipping container. Sorry, sheet metal. And coming and adding a ladder here. This is another respawn point I like. This is perfect. Now we add a turret here. And let me go through and see if there's anything else. Alrighty guys, I believe rather, let me say, I have covered effectively everything there is to say. I'm missing a door or two here, but it's nothing major, I believe. So, without further ado guys, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment in the comment section down below, or the link to my Discord is in the description. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching this base build. I know it's been an extraordinarily long time since I posted one, so I really do thank you for watching. It really is kind of you. It literally brings it makes me happy, so thank you so much. And the last things to upgrade I will show here that I've just seen. These walls to shipping container, I apologize for that noise. These frames, like this. And then this for the external. That is practically it. So that is the last of effectively everything that you really need to upgrade. This base is absolutely perfect. I hope it serves you amazingly in some wipes, and please be sure to add some bunkers. I know it's kind of like a catch-all nowadays where they just throw them on externals, and I didn't want to be that way, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. My name is 9, and I'll see you in the next one.